What's up guys, it's Shortary. Disney is facing some serious problems these days. 4 of its biggest releases this year are struggling in theaters, losing billions of dollars, plus losing millions of subscribers from their streaming platform Disney+. And I would be crazy to not bring up the multiple Pixar flops. They lost their special tax status while getting into a fight with an entire state. Lawsuits are coming down on them just like Thor's hammer. It doesn't end here. They're getting rid of many shows and movies to save money. The value of their company stocks has been going down for a while now. They fired their CEO Bob Chapek, their Marvel executive Victoria Alonso, followed by the chairman of Marvel too, along with 7,000 other people. Things are actually so bad for Disney that they might be forced to cancel their live-action version of Snow White. And you know what? This is all revealing something about Disney that we might not have seen before, which we'll get into in this video. So if you want to know how Disney was careening towards the bottom, hit subscribe, like this video, and of course, enjoy the show. This is Shortary, and welcome to a new video. Disney isn't a newbie when it comes to lawsuits in courts, but this time things are a little different. According to Reuters, the company is accused of systematically paying women less than men in California, which is illegal, by about $150 million over an 8-year period. This lawsuit includes around 12,500 women who either currently work or used to work full-time at Disney in positions below the level of vice president. The lawsuit was brought forward by LaRonda Rasmussen back in 2019. She found out that 6 men doing the same job as her were getting a lot more money. One of them, who was hired not too long ago and actually had less experience, was making $20,000 more, as said in the complaint. After that, 9 people who used to work at Disney, or still do, joined the lawsuit as well. The second class action lawsuit against Disney is quite alarming, as it is a matter of securities fraud. The idea is that Disney used numbers to guess how well they do financially, but these guesses were way off, about $1.47 billion worth of off. When they released their reports for the third quarter, their company's value dropped by quite a bit, about 13.2%. The lawsuit says that Disney Plus was not doing as well as they said, and it was losing money. It also says that Disney's bosses hid the real cost of Disney Plus by showing some shows on their old ways of sharing shows. Basically, Disney tricked people who had a stake in the company, and it's going to court for it. Let's move on to movies, where things aren't really that much better. Disney, typically the strongest performer every year, and especially during summer movie season, has had a particularly tough year. Most of its releases are quite flat. That includes Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Pixar's Elemental, Marvel's Ant-Man, Wasp, Quantumania, The Little Mermaid, and The Haunted Mansion. Indiana Jones has failed to reach revenue expectations. Disney is known to spend astronomical amounts of money on its movies' productions. This huge production cost doesn't even include the many millions they spent on press and advertising. When you also consider the part of the money that the theaters take, a movie usually needs to earn about 2 times its cost in order to start making money. This means the newest Indiana Jones movie still has quite a bit of work ahead of it before it becomes profitable. Pixar's Elemental flop seems like it was made by design. The original story has been heavily edited by the studio as they removed one of the antagonist characters. According to Disney, they wanted Elemental to be a movie about inclusion and love, so including a villain was unnecessary. And ever since it came out, the movie has been getting a ton of criticism on social media. People thought that the movie was easy to predict and not really exciting. They also didn't like how a non-binary character was put into the plot in a way that felt unnatural. Ant-Man was a disaster, as it lost tens of millions of dollars during its theatrical window, just like The Little Mermaid, which fell dramatically out of expectations as well, which makes it the first time since 2014 where Disney failed to make $1 billion from any movie, and obviously that's a big issue. Disney counted on the idea that they could make billions of dollars at the movie theaters to cover the production costs. However, it seems like this tactic isn't working anymore, as people are heavily criticizing the company's preferences. Now, to be fair, some of these losses are predicted as the Chinese market is slowly diminishing due to the rising tensions with the West, and Russia being completely cut off. It's not easy to make revenue anymore. However, this shouldn't be overstated. Although most of Disney's releases this year have been a flop in one way or another, but still, the company is still dominating the movie industry. The company has made a total of about $3.5 billion this year, beating out every other competitor in the market. They even managed to outsell Universal, the studio that released the highest grossing movie this year, the Mario movie. So it might seem like the company is in struggle, which is true, but it's nowhere near losing the game. So overall, Disney is still a dominating force. However, with the latest struggles, they need to change their tactics. On the other hand, the Wall Street Journal reports that Disney World hasn't felt this empty in years. Travel analysts are saying that visits to Disney's US theme parks and some other parks have decreased this summer. Data from a travel company that watches how long people wait in lines at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, shows that the 4th of July weekend was one of the slowest in almost 10 years. Disney's executives had mentioned that they expected to earn less money from their US parks this year. Even the resort around Orlando is giving discounts on hotels during Christmas, which is usually a very busy time. Travel advisors and experts who know about the industry say that this slowdown is another sign that Disney's recent price increases and changes in how the parks work have made some families less excited about going to, quote, the most magical place on Earth. Disney CEO Bob Iger attributed Disney World's recent decline in wait times to an overall slump in Central Florida tourism. He says, if you look at the numbers in Florida in 2023 versus 2022, where not as much was open and Florida was the only game in town, there is a lot more competition today. Up until now, in this month, Thrill Data has shared that people have been waiting around 33 minutes on average at Disney World. This is one of the shortest wait times for any month since January of 2022. And it's surprising because this is usually a busy time for the parks. In comparison, last year in July, people were waiting for about 41 minutes on average in Disney's Florida parks. Don't get me wrong though, folks are still showing up, but it's nowhere near close to how it used to be. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room here. Hollywood doesn't fully understand the go woke, go broke idea. In November of 2022, Disney released the computer-generated film Strange World. It's an animated story that follows the Clads, a family of explorers who come together to explore a dangerous and uncharted land beneath their world. However, one significant aspect of the film involves a scene where 16-year-old Ethan shares his crush on another boy with his grandfather. While discussions about same-sex crushes and relationships are not uncommon in movies now, critics argue that addressing these topics in a film intended for children didn't do the film any favors at the box office. The same thing happened with The Little Mermaid when Disney revealed that they cast Halle Bailey, a 23-year-old black actress, to play the main character. While some people liked the progressive choice, it also caused a lot of comments from those who criticized Disney for not sticking to the original depiction of the character and just trying to, quote, stay woke. The Disney company emphasis on wokeness has cost it nearly $1 billion. They need to understand that people are not buying or consuming this content as the studio thought that they would. Disney simply needs to create animated movies that families can enjoy without pushing political agendas. Just take a look at the Super Mario Bros. Movie. The animated film made a freaking $1 billion without any political stuff at all. Critics of the film Elemental have criticized it as also being woke for adding a non-binary character. Elemental's opening figures domestically are the second worst ever by a Pixar film. It seems to me like people are just getting tired of brands going too woke.
Now listen, if Disney wants to make more woke films that tank at the box office, they're more than welcome to do that, but maybe think of an original idea. Maybe not destroy a classic from my childhood and put an actress in there that not only hates the plot and the storyline of the movie she's in, but also seemingly hates Snow White the character herself.
This happened as Florida's governor, Ron DeSantis, has been involved in a cultural battle with the company due to the, quote, don't say gay bill. This disagreement between the Republican governor and the family-oriented entertainment company has been going on for more than a year. As a result, many of DeSantis' backers have turned against the House of Mouse. Look, if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure you leave us a like and hit the subscribe button. It'll help us make more videos. Do you have a topic or company that you'd like us to cover in a future video? Let us know in the comments below. This is Shortary, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.